Oh boy, this is a debate with Ben Shapiro, and he's surrounded by a group of, it seems, left wingers, Democrats, and it's on a channel called Jubilee. I'll post the link to the full video in the description. And here he is debating people about all kinds of issues. And right now, I'm showing you a clip of him debating someone that believes Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Ben Shapiro unpacks these nonsense claims. She, I'm afraid to say, reveals that she has quite a bit of ignorance with regard to the conflict. But it's important that we keep exposing the truth. So have a watch of the debate, and then we'll unpack it.
Anybody who claims that there's a genocide going on in the Gaza Strip does not understand the definition of the word genocide.
Don't tell me, what's the definition of genocide?
A systematic destruction of every member of a population.
Is Israel a system?
But no.
Are they on their way to completing and fulfilling a genocide?
No, there are
potentially, if they kept on going the same way that they're doing, could they completely eradicate the Gaza Strip?
Israel has the military capacity to do that, and they have certainly not done that. And the reason I can say they have not done that is you know how long it would take them at the current rate to do that, especially given the fact that they are completely targeting terrorists.
Mm-hmm. Are they completely targeting terrorists? Are children terrorists? Are the children the dead babies? The kids?
Civilian collateral damage is not the same thing as targeting civilians.
But is that not a byproduct of genocide?
No, that is not. Genocide is where you systematically destroy a population specifically because you wish to kill the civilian population. That is it.
He's right. That's not very pro-life.
Well, it turns out that Hamas is not pro-life when they hide behind children and women.
And neither is Israel when they drop bombs and nukes on Palestinian villages.
Okay, are you suggesting that Israel is using nuclear weapons?
Is a bomb automatically nuclear?
No, not even remotely.
So that's what I said, a bomb.
and a nuke. Okay, Israel uses as small munitions as possible to target specific terrorists. Okay, they do this using drone technology. They have to go through 4 layers of legal before any strike is actually approved by the upper layers of the Israeli government. I've seen this actual process in action. I've seen the actual footage at Palmachim Air Force Base in which Israel goes through the process and shows exactly how they have to go through multiple legal steps in order to green light a hit on a terrorist. And they have they've released footage of this, them calling off particular strikes if they believe that the minimal amount of civilian casualty damage cannot be maintained. Okay. So the basic idea, again, what you're talking about here is a population of 2 million Palestinians who are living in the Gaza Strip. The total number of war dead at this point, according to best available statistics, is somewhere between 30,000 and 40,000 dead. Okay. That is not a genocide. It is a horrible, horrible war with horrible human casualties. That is not a genocide.
To your definition, which I will have to disagree with. But that brings me to my next.
Oh, so anything can be genocide now. Anything that we decide we don't like or like, that we just call that genocide now. The Allies' war against Germany in World War II was genocide. Just bizarre.
Name a war that isn't a genocide by your definition.
One that isn't a genocide?
Yes.
There's plenty of genocides. They've happened.
I mean, my point is that you don't seem to be distinguishing between the definition of a war and the definition of a genocide. Well, you're saying that if mass casualties happen, it is necessarily a genocide. I'm saying that is not true.
Got you. My next question. Do you believe Israel has the right to the...
Yeah, so it shows that all we're dealing with here is pure emotion. That's what it comes down to. I was actually asked this. I was doing a Q&A a few days ago, and someone asked me, how do we respond to when people say 40,000 dead Gazans killed by Israel? I'm genuinely shocked that people, when they hear this, they don't think, well, can we unpack this? How many of those are Hamas? What's a typical civilian to terrorist or combatant ratio in warfare? People don't ask those questions. They just say, 40,000 dead is unacceptable. What if 100% of those were Hamas? It turns out it's about 50%, but let's say it was about 100%. Why is the numbers the issue here? Surely it's about who Israel is targeting. Again, we're just dealing with sentimentality and emotion. Ben gets asked the exact question that needed to be asked to her. So what war would she say is not a genocide? Let's be clear. Genocide is when you have 2 neighbouring countries living peacefully, or peoples living peacefully alongside each other, and one says we're going to try and destroy the other. That's genocide. War is when the other side says, you're trying to attack me, I'm going to defend myself and attack you to get rid of the security threat. Not to wipe you out, but to get rid of the security threat, the people that are trying to attack us. How is that not so obvious? And how is it not obvious to her that collateral damage, the moral onus, lies on the side of the one that started it? And I have to say also, always talking about, oh, children are dying. Excuse me, are adults' lives not equally precious as well? Even Israeli soldiers' lives. They didn't start a genocide. These are, for Jewish people and Israelis, our friends, our family. Are their lives not equally precious? All life is infinitely valuable. This focus on children, it's emotion and sentimentality. And it's picking up on the fact that, yes, there is some collateral damage from Israel targeting Hamas, but the moral onus lies with Hamas. Especially when Israel has achieved the lowest combatant to non-combatant ratio in the history of urban warfare. Now, what more do you want than that? If you don't accept Israel can go after Hamas, well, then we have nothing to talk about. You don't believe Israel has a right to exist. But if you accept that Israel has a right to go after Hamas, which some anti-Israel pundits do you then accept there's going to have to be some civilian casualty when they're embedded among civilians? If yes, well then what would be an acceptable ratio to you? Presumably it would have to be one that's at least comparable to other conflicts, other armies, Western armies, certainly ones that respect humanitarian laws and values. And it turns out that Israel has done a much better job than other Western armies in targeting Hamas. So this is all just emotional sentimentality. And as you see, once Ben clearly wins the argument, she just says, okay, let's move on. She might not be able to move on. Maybe we need to go deeper into understanding why there's a deep psyche here that simply cannot understand Israel's position. And maybe we could get there with someone like this lady. But I think it's important also to share this so that other people who are sitting on the fence, or who just hear these things without digging into it too much. They hear 40,000 dead. They hear Israel fighting in Gaza. And they don't have all the facts, and they might just think, if they don't dig just a little bit, they might just think, oh, well, Israel must be the aggressor. I've learned in commentating and studying and researching and talking about and interviewing on this conflict, that it actually doesn't take that much to just dig beneath the surface to see the web of lies that we are inundated with in the news, in the media, about the conflict. But you just have to do a little bit of digging to discover the clear truth. If you've made it so far in this video, I have a request for you. JTV has been having a really big impact in spreading the truth about Israel and creating positive associations with the Jewish people, Judaism, and Israel. We've really grown a lot, particularly in the last year, and we're having a really significant impact, both for Jews and non-Jews. But I really want to take JTV to the next level so we can start to compete with the other big online media beasts that are often peddling anti-Israel content. And the way we're going to do that is to scale even faster. So I'd love to build a team where we have other presenters doing shows like me, let's start doing documentaries, supplementary content, animated content, etc., etc. And to do that, I'd like to build a bit of a team. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one fundraising day, just one, where we try and build up some funding in order to fund such a team. Now, to do that, it's going to obviously require people to get involved. And I'm wondering if you would consider, if you're watching JTV content and appreciate what we do and want to help partner with us in taking this to the next level and spreading the truth farther and wider than ever before, I wonder if you'd consider partnering with us simply by running a mini page on the fundraiser that we do, where you just reach out to your contacts on that day that we choose to fundraise and see if they'll all chip in. If you'd be up for doing that, of which I would be so, so grateful, then please click on the Google form link in the video description of this video, where you can simply just put in a few contact details. It'll be a very small commitment, as I say, literally just one day that we'll all agree upon as a collective community. But the impact is going to be so big. There's such strength in numbers. If we all pull together and do this, we can take this to the next level. And as I say, all of us can partner together in bringing and spreading the truth to the whole world. So please do consider clicking on that link, filling in the form, and I'll be in touch very soon to talk about the next steps. Small commitment, but a big impact. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.